What we've always got to do is just show how much gorgeous stuff you have. It's endless. It's just endless. Are you changing?
Just taken down.
Oh, you're doing a new display. But is it I mean, do you ever have a stock taking day? How does it?
I do, because.
How long does it take? 3 to 4 months.
I do it
but
myself.
It's so much good stuff.
I know I can walk in and actually say, "Oh my God, did you sell something?" And I walked in this morning, and the first thing I went, "Oh, that's gone, and go check that tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
You pay for it yourself. It's my money, therefore that sounds awful, but
but you are. It's like your own. It's a home, really, in a way. Like you know everything here. And
if something is moved.
Sure, somebody's taking the salt cellar. We need to get another salt cellar. There you go.
It's on that basis.
Now, as I said to you, this is like a new series, From There to Here. Just talking to people in the town, because we sort of assume sometimes that places here, people have been here for forever on one level, but obviously this began somewhere. So where did Paraphernalia begin for you?
It began with, I was working as fine art agent in town.
A what agent?
Fine art.
Oh, okay,
agent.
Nice.
Lad Lane Gallery, followed by the Solomon Gallery, and I was there for 14 years.
See, I thought you said finance agent. I was going to slap you, but fine art is okay. Okay, that's
for God's
right.
Sake, yes. Dad was an actor. That's about as close.
Right.
And my kids were growing up, and they were little, and I suddenly thought, why am I working all the hours that God sends me, so that I need to be with I should see more of my kids. So I thought, if I opened up a business in Greystones, I could see them after school, or if they get sick, I can shut the door. It just gave me control. I worked for a woman.
Did you ever regret have seen them more often than you had to?
No.
Okay, just checking. Sometimes it's a fairy tale ideal. Then you think, wait a minute.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I still had to get them mine because they're down at Patrick's, and they'd walk on the way up to the Minder. They pop in.
Nice.
But it meant, like, for instance, my dad died. I actually shut the door, and people said, "You can't do that." I said, "Excuse me, why can't I?
Yeah.
It's my business. If I choose to lose business, I'm closing the shop." So that's random, but that
idea.
It was kind of bits and pieces. There was things I always liked. I like making stuff, like all the wire stuff. I make soaps.
Sure.
Make trees, do the liner cuts. I make scarves. I make candles. I make whatever it takes my fancy. I was just like making. I always making stuff.
And what was the year? What was the year that you?
1990, I think.
Nice. Okay, so it's you've been here like this is
29 years, I think.
So you're settling in. You're settling in now, aren't you? You're settled. You're settling in.
I don't think I'll stick it out as long as riding.
Boom. Now we should.
Or Leo.
We should say that you seem to have just so many different possibilities when it comes to gifts and all that. Would you say it's the same, or did you start off small and it built like this, or how, I don't know if you
went more. No, when I started off, I definitely had kind of kids stickers and all that kind of stuff, but I had a lot of homewares, housewares, eclectic mix of housewares. Like I had a huge big dresser from home that was covered in, bowls and
coffee
practical stuff, but a little bit more funkier, that you couldn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One-offs, and that's I would always say is trying not to get something not buying things that you have to buy 6 of or 12 or 24. And sometimes you see something lovely, but they won't sell you 2 or 3. You have to buy, and I don't have the stock space. Nor do I want customers like scarves.
Yeah.
Who wants to see that walking around the village on everybody?
Well, you do like to think that this is pretty rare what you've got on. You don't want that pennies feeling all the time where you think everybody I meet has got this.
I use the word eclectic there, it makes me laugh, because the original name was going to be Eclectics.
Ooh.
And Anne Davis, God rest her soul, she died 2 weeks ago, came up with Paraphernalia, and we had a bit of a joke about it. She said, they won't understand eclectics.
Boom.
And I don't know whether if you're recording this, whether you should turn it off now.
Eclectics is good though, but I think if Dylan goes eclectic, there's all these different things.
30 years ago. It was like, what?
I suppose eclectic isn't
the same. If I got a penny for nearly every person who's come in and said I've misspelled it,
right,
I go no, it's got an R. Oh, it doesn't have an R. Yes, it does have an R. But I had to get rid of mine.
And the quick readers are disappointed when it's nothing to do with porn. They just think, Paraphernalia, let's go there. I think I can find some gifts.
I had to close down my, what was the first, email account. I'm trying to think what it was. It wasn't.
But it sounded a little bit.
No, Paraphernalia. I actually could not delete
the amount of people who were
fast enough that they were coming in looking for
all
sorts. I mean, it was just crazy. I just went, ditch it and set off for the new email.
Well, if you're imaginative, everything's got it could be a sex toy. There's all sorts of possibilities in here. It's just So was there? You're talking about now a lifetime really here, and that sense of it being part of the town is huge. Was it ever in doubt for you? Because businesses, obviously have these, good days, bad days.
Without my landlord, who is an absolute godsend, he saw me through the rough times. He really did. I could not have stayed open. He was so considerate, and I think I was very lucky because I think there's probably landlords, people, investors as such type landlords.
Sure, more and more so, of
he
course.
He has been so all the way through and supportive, you know.
Right.
Yeah, he's had me in tears going, oh my God, I can't afford to stay open any longer. And he's going, don't worry about it. You know,
Boom.
Which really, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. It says a lot for him.
Now, should we say who it is? Because
it's Marion, the hairdresser upstairs, her husband.
Yeah, fair play.
Albert.
We should just give him a shout out.
He's sports local, but he's been so good over the years.
Now, that idea of identity, you know, we identify obviously our family and our you know, the culture that we come from and all that, but your workplace is a big part of people's identity, and you must feel this is a second home. This is, you know, a lot of people would know you from here than And
even my dog, I look at your dog out there, but Lucy, my beloved, she used to sit at the doorstep.
Not as beloved as...
Oh, has to be much more so.
No, I don't think so.
Lucy used to lie on the doorstep and people step over her
and
say, she's the shop dog. And then they'd see, walking around the seafront, they'd see, because we live on the seafront, they'd go, oh my goodness, it's the shop dog. Oh, they'd come in here, it's the beach dog, because she was never on a lead.
Did anyone ever wipe their feet on Lucy? No. Good. I'm just saying, you know, you get somebody who's not a little bit worse with the wear and tear.
She died age 20. She had a long
that's a great one.
So she
there you go, Max. You hear that? You got to live till 20. 20. Stay there. Stay. No, he's good. No, I won't. No, stay, because I won't confuse him. If I let him in one shop, he thinks the next one is okay.
Yeah. But no, and the other thing is, it was known as the hippie shop, which makes me laugh. I mean,
yeah, well, you're quite fascist. You hate hippies. You know, I can't understand that. Fascist fashion. That's your main.
Will be. You know, and just because they sell incense and a few crystals.
Sure. Well, I think people kind of have any shop that's sort of hard to pin down. They just put their interpretation on it. They say that's my feeling about that shop. That's what I think it's for.
And come in and say, oh, you know, you should be selling this, and I was like, no, I don't like it.
Right.
Occasionally you get stuff in that you, for some reason, mental aberration, you order and you think, why?
Yeah.
Idiots. Why does
you're a curator as much as you are, you know, a shop owner, because it really is a tasting of deciding that's you know, if it excites you and you like it.
My taste, you know,
right.
Tough.
But I think that's why people are drawn to it, that there is there's somebody thinking behind this. It's like you've gone out there and brought home stuff to show other people. Say, look what I found. This is pretty wild. And, you know, you'll get a mix of, you know.
I mean, I have kids who come in, just dropped in some stones.
Ah, okay.
He'll come in and he'll find them on the beach and go, do you know what this is?
Nice.
And we actually think, and I'm going to laugh at this.
Boom.
Bit of terrazzo he left in.
Oh, what's that called?
I think that came from the Ormond Cinema.
Wow.
Because when you went in as a kid, you went up the posh stairs.
That's
and you
right.
came down the terrazzo stairs outside. And he left it in yesterday.
Wow, because I'm always thinking
it's terrazzo.
I always have an imagination of sort of being marbly and all that, which, you know, is part of it. I do remember the steps and all, but in my head it's always like
which is either chips of real stone or glass in a kind of concrete.
I'm hoping now to take a
so he's going back to see where he found it.
I spoke with Graham and he hasn't been in since they closed up.
Oh, you joke.
So we're going to open the door together and walk in, because the shop is still the way it was now, and because those marathons could be worth a lot of money now. But but just the idea, I know it'll probably be just dusty and cobwebs and all that, but just to kind of look around it with a little bit of caution and a torch.
When they put in the double seats at the back, and your feet, the squidgy, you know, the carpet moving.
Well, that's just to know when somebody's leaving, if somebody's trying to make a break for it.
Also remembering when it had it downstairs.
Yeah.
If my mother heard that I had gone downstairs, it would be horrified.
Boom!
You know, you
into the Catholic area. You're not allowed down the Catholic area. You must go up to the Protestant area.
Even worse than really that you have to unplug.
Now we should say that just to finish with people who are kind of curious to swing by. Have you got sort of opening times, or do you slightly vary depending on the weather?
10 to 5:30. If I'm on, I could be here till 7 or 7:30. Right. I can't expect somebody like tomorrow works Wednesdays and Thursdays. Yes. She's got her own life, you know. Sure. She's here till 5:30. No, she's very good. She'd stay till 6 or so.
And that's Monday to Friday to Saturday to
every day except for Monday.
Okay, Monday.
But Sunday we shut at 5.
Okay.
It's like 12 to 5.
I'll put that in then, just so people know. But yeah, as I said, a very much. And you mentioned Mrs. Mooney, but there's certain things you know in the town that just seem to be always there. I know that you kind of it still feels on one level like there's a new shop, but then 1990. That's.
Well, when I first opened, there were 3 antique shops.
Ah, right.
And no gift shop. The only gift shop was the small one that Mrs. Sperling had down at the cinema.
Right.
And she did very much box, kind of, you know, Yadro figurines and Northwood glass. And I was completely, I didn't want a box. People come in and they go, you know, selling it. Oh, that's a lovely box. And you know, the box is going in the bin. I don't want a box. I didn't want branded stuff. I still don't like branded stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just like
branded jewellery, branded whatever.
Sure.
No, that's like Isabel. has fabulous stuff, and maybe her stuff will be more, but not necessarily as much as say Concept. So we have 3 different kind of
types of taste you can
and
cater
Alison has
for.
her own, her range of her own candles and smellies. So that it's horses for courses.
Now I must say, coffee shops. How many were there in 1990? Just Tino's, or you get some if you get a queer look off a barman, he might give you a coffee though if you really ask him nicely.
We thought Pineta Classico were absolutely off their heads paying something like 200 grand for that outright. That bit. How wrong were we? Because they owned it. They didn't pay rent. They owned it. Pineta's opened after me, and who else?
Yeah.
Because it was Thierry Le Paysan.
Yeah, but it's really the idea of coffee. Yeah, Charlie shop and all. But it's the amount of coffee shops I just think is a telling sign of not only Greystones but the world. Yeah.
The drive-through. There you go. It looks amazing. I love the sound of that, and yet I hope it's the passing trade.
It's a hard one to say. I think bicycles and pedestrians easy, but cars will obviously have a queue, and they mightn't want to stay in a queue.
But how many times have I thought I'd love a cup of coffee and I'm leaving Greystones, and I thought I'm not going to pull in, go into the garage, make my own coffee, go pay for it, get back, and so
And Paraphernalia have never sold a coffee car maker, no? Or car coffee maker, whichever way you want to put it.
I wanted to give away coffee for free.
Oh, nice.
I
suppose you need a different license, do you, or something?
The whole thing suddenly brings in health and safety.
Right.
You suddenly are liable.
Especially the way you're always slipping alcohol into your coffee, so that would be the main concern.
I have the most amazing neighbour who brings me gin and tonic every Saturday afternoon.
Holy moly, that will head